Okay, in the workshop, just put this set of Salomon Shift S-Lab bindings on. Quite excited by these because they're a hybrid binding, quite a new binding, and they are designed so that they will work as a conventional downhill binding using a conventional downhill boot, and yet they will convert into a touring binding using a tech boot with tech fittings. So they have actually pins, which you can't see at the moment because they're covered by that blue bit, which is actually the part of the binding that ensures that it works like a normal downhill binding. It's a bit like a transformer, this, a bit like one of those toys from donkeys ago. So what you do is, that's in its downhill mode at the moment, ready to accept a boot, and you go into this boot in exactly the normal way. You put your toe in first and you step down, and that's you sorted out for downhill. The brake will retract, obviously. But if you want to tour in it, then you have to just change the configuration of the binding. So what you do is, and I've learned this the hard way, because it can snap at your fingers, although you'd have gloves on when you were doing this, is you need to move this blue piece out of the way. Okay, it previously said ski on it, it now says walk on it, and what it's done, it's revealed the pins there, and the wings that actually are going to go and grip onto your boot with those pins. So the lever, the blue lever, which was previously down, has now come up, it's popped up into place, ready to be depressed again to actually spread these levers out so you can get the boot in. So what has to happen is, when you put the boot in for touring with the associated little tech fitments there, those metal bits in the toe, that's what those pins are going to grip onto. And to actually spread the wings out so you can get the boot in, you need to press down on this. So watch what happens when I press down the blue lever with my hand, or stick it would be in real life. See how the wings move? Okay, so that's ready to accept a boot at the front for touring, but it's not ready at the back yet, because obviously at the back you've got to do something about that brake. So obviously when you stand in the ski to tour, even when the heel's lifting out of the binding, you've got to make sure that that brake doesn't deploy and cause drag. So what has to happen is, another lever that says ski again has to be lifted, and this has to be lifted up as far as it will go. And then this is really clever. What happens is, and we'll come back to this in a second because I'm going to put the boot into the binding. See in a minute. So I'm just releasing the wings by releasing the blue lever, and the sprung wings then lock into, with the pins, they lock into the boot at the front, and at the back we've already pushed that black lever up. And now what we have to do is we have to push this down really hard, and as we push it down hard, and I'm just going to put the phone down a second, it's basically deployed the lever and it's brought the brakes up permanently now, because if you lift the heel up, you'll see the brakes don't then retract back down again. Really clever. So that's ready for touring. The heel is clear at the back, you're not using this piece at all. That's fantastic, it's not going to get damaged. Brakes out of the way, and you've got this sort of slightly elevated position here for the heel, but you can actually elevate it more for steeper slopes by flipping this lever up, this second stage lever up, and then you can see you've got a little bit of added height at the back. So that's really for going up steeper slopes. And that's about it really. Looking forward to trying this out. Put the bindings onto an old ski because we're going to Scotland and I don't want to wreck a brand new pair of skis. So this is a pair of Scots that I've seen some fairly hard but very, very good times, and I'm not too bothered if these get a bit of a ragging, but it's a good way of trying the binding out with this boot. So I'll report back hopefully for those that are interested in this new kind of binding. I don't think there's that many out there at the moment. This is probably second year of production for this binding, and we'll give it a go. See you in a bit.